Hi guys, I decided to stream this video. A few people have requested making my picadillo, and I'm gonna go through a few steps here, see if I can get this done. So I'm going to be using what I have right now are these little golden potatoes. You can use regular russet potatoes or red potatoes, whichever potatoes you feel you like the taste of better. I personally love all kinds of potatoes, so I'll buy whatever's on sale and use that. With these potatoes, I do not peel them. However, with the regular Idaho or russet potatoes, I do peel because I don't like the taste of that skin. These yellow, golden yellow, and red potatoes, I will definitely just cut and cube for my recipes because I love the, protein, vitamins, or whatever is in the peel, they say. Anyway, so I do cut these little cubes. Makes it easier to cook when I'm making the picadillo. I am going to use a pound of ground beef. I'm gonna make a small batch because it's just myself and my daughter. I'm going to use a can of corn, a can of tomato sauce, a packet of sazon con achote, culantro y achote, and adobo comino to season the meat. So I will go ahead and get this going. I've already cubed a few potatoes. I'm going to cube a few more. I don't want to do that many since I'm only doing a pound of ground beef, but just go based on your preference of ratio from potato and corn to meat. Again, since I'm only using a pound, I'm going to just dice maybe 1 or 2 more small potatoes to this. Once that is done, I will then brown the ground beef. And once we can get that started, let's see here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it on medium heat to get started. Once I get this browned and seasoned, then we'll start incorporating the other ingredients, okay? Okay, so I am going to go ahead and start cooking the ground beef. And I know I didn't mention before, but I also did wash and scrub these potatoes prior to dicing them, since I was going to be using them this way without the skin, so I didn't have to peel them. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and season this a little bit. And let it get brown. And I apologize ahead of time. I do not do measurements. I season to taste. A lot of the things I do when I cook, I do not take measurements. So I'm going to apologize definitely in advance for all that, because I kind of just eyeball everything. And I know some people hate that. But I hope that if you are used to cooking, you can kind of get it. So smash it down a little, and I'm going to season just a little bit more. Now the meat that I bought, ground beef, I wanted at least 75 to 80% lean, because I do not drain this. So you don't want to buy ground beef that is not very lean, because you'll have a lot of fat that you will then have to drain. Although it's okay, I guess you could. But I try not to make it more work, and just kind of get it all in one pot or pan, so to speak. So I'm going to just work my way through getting this meat cooked. And then I'm gonna let it simmer. As soon as I break this down a little bit more, and scrape off that meat from this. Alright, you don't want to have very big chunks. All the ground beef kind of breaks through really easily. So I'm looking for my little, there we go. And then I'm going to cover this and let the meat brown. And when it's almost done, I'm going to add the potatoes so the potatoes can cook with the seasonings. And then we'll get the rest of the stuff going, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so I've had this cooking for a while. Try not to get this water in here. Let's stir this up a little. You see how there's not that much fat, grease, oil, whatever you want to call it. So you need that just to keep it in there and make the meal a little tasty. Check some of these little pieces that are big. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my potatoes and stir those in there a little. So add my package. I will add the whole package of sazón con culantro y achiote. And then stir this in there. I've drained my can of corn. I'm only going to put in about half. I think that's about half. Actually, it's a little more than half. It's like 3/4 of a can. Se me pasó la mano. I actually just wanted to do a half, but that's okay. I normally use a whole can because I'm usually doing like 4 or 5 pounds of meat when I have all my kids over. And this is just good enough. So normally what I do, picadillo, I make this for either we're eating tacos, or I also make this for empanadas. Or white rice, and just top it on white rice, and you'll see why. Because I do not make my picadillo to be dry like this. I like it a little moist because it gives it flavor, and its flavor stays in. I've had people make picadillo. My kids will always complain when people say they're making picadillo and it's not like mine, because it's so dry and there's no type of flavor. So I'm gonna let this go ahead and cook down a little bit. But before I do that, I'm going to add in about half of this can of tomato sauce. Again, because I'm not using more than a pound. And then I add in water so that this is going to simmer. And actually that was a cup, but I'm going to add more water because I normally, again, do not measure because I do everything by eye. And I'm going to be adding more water because I like for all this to be covered, because then the potato and the corn will cook down in a boil. Getting rid of some of this water so So we'll mix this up. And once this is cooked a little, I'm stir this up, and then I'm going to taste this little caldito or the stew to make sure my seasonings are good. If not, I'll be adding a little bit more seasonings. And then I'm going to let this simmer down so that the potatoes and corn will cook through. Especially the potatoes, because you want them to be soft and tender, of course. And that's what all this water is for. So you see, now that it's covered, you can see some of it, but it's not that, you don't want it to be drenched, because then it's going to be too much. Now I'm going to take a spoon and taste this and see if the seasonings are right. And depending on that, I will see if I will add some more seasonings. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more adobo con comino because the water did water it down a little. And that should be good enough. All right, so I'm going to cover this and let this come to a boil for a few minutes, about 10-15, and we should check in on it in a little bit, in about 15 minutes. And it's come to a boil. We're checking on this, and what we're looking for now, since everything else is pretty much cooked, is whether or not those potatoes have cooked through. So those potatoes look translucent, like they're cooked through. I'm going to take one and try one here and see if they are cooked through. And that should be good. I'm just trying to, there we go. And so went through real easily. So the potato is done. I'm just gonna taste it. Definitely soft. So this is done. Now you see some of the water did simmer down, evaporate. It didn't all go away, but that's okay, because like I said. So I'm just gonna turn this down. We like it a little moist here. So normally, if we're gonna eat it on tacos, if my kids want it on tacos, then we'll just take this, drain it, strain it, take one of these slotted spoons and, you know, scoop it and strain it there. Have one of these with more holes to make it easier. Whatever. But I like to eat this also, like I said, on a bed of white rice. So I've already cooked some white rice earlier. I'm gonna just pour some of this on the center of here. And that's where some of this juice comes in hand. I like it more. And there you go. Buen provecho. I hope you like it. I'm about to eat my lunch. Let me know what you think about it.